All right, we're still going to talk about decimals on number lines, but for our number line, we're going to use a ruler. Okay, so you'll notice in your homework, it's going to show you a picture of a ruler, and it's a metric ruler, which means it has centimeters and millimeters on it. And you'll remember 1 centimeter is just this big. It's just that big. Just like maybe almost this, shorter than your thumbnail. Or maybe your thumbnail is a centimeter. That's it. It's this small, small piece. Okay? And on your homework, you might have something that's about 15 centimeters long. Okay, so this much is about 15 centimeters. Actually, this is exactly as exact as I can get it with my marker, 15 centimeters. Okay? Now, your homework asks you to do things, like put dots on certain centimeters or millimeters. Okay? So, what I need to make sure of is, in your homework there's a little key, and it tells you 1 centimeter, and I'm abbreviating centimeter, you'll see 1 cm, that means centimeter, okay, equals 10 millimeters. And we can see that really easily if we look at the ruler, or the meter stick here. We can even count. We have to count carefully, but we can count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 hash marks in a centimeter. Those hash marks are each equal to 1 millimeter. Okay, I want everybody's attention right up here so that you can study that carefully and understand it. That was a tricky thing for us to understand during our measurement unit. So this is kind of a review of that. Okay, and the next thing it tells us is 1 meter, okay, and meter means M, equals 100 centimeters. Okay, and right here, this right here is 1 meter. This whole, all the way across here is 1 meter, which means there are 100 of these centimeters in there. There are 100 of them. 100 little centimeter marks. That means there's even more millimeters. Okay? So, there's even more millimeters. There's actually 1,000 millimeters. So all those things are very important for us to understand in order to do this homework. Okay? So we have 1,000 millimeters in here. So these tiny little dash marks that you see in between the centimeters, there are 1,000 of those on this meter stick. That's a lot of hash marks. Okay? So, now, as you go to do your work, you have to think about what those hash marks mean and why they're there. So, it's going to tell you, and I'm not going to do the exact same ones on your work because I want you to be able to do some yourself, but if it says, make a dot at 11 centimeters, okay, you look for 11 on your ruler, and you make a dot. And it might say label it A, so we'll label that one A. Okay? And then it's going to say something like, make a dot at 160 millimeters, and label it B. Okay, I'm picking different numbers than what is on your paper, but I want to give you the idea, so pay close attention. Well, 160 millimeters, how am I going to figure that out? Oh, okay. Let's see, 160 millimeters. Well, I have 10 millimeters in a centimeter. So I could do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I could count by tens to do that. Or I might figure out that if I just take a 0 away, because if I divide by 10, I can just take a 0 away, kind of when we multiply, we add a 0. Then I could figure out that it was 16. I'm going to label that one B. Okay, so that's just another way to do that. So I said A equals 11 centimeters, and B equals 160 millimeters. And let's say C is going to be 0.28 of a meter. 0.28 of a meter. How am I going to figure that out? Well, I'm going to read it 28 hundredths of a meter. 28 hundredths of a meter. So I'm going to look for the one over here that's hundreds, because I know that's how I'm going to have to use this. I'm going to have to do it. 28 hundredths. Oh, look at this. There's 100 centimeters. Okay, because I could write this like this. 28 out of 100. Everybody agrees that's 28 hundredths, right? 28 hundredths. Everyone agrees to that. So if I need 28 out of 100, I guess I'm going to have to use centimeters, huh? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my line a little bit bigger just so we can go there. And let's see, I'm going to go to the 28 and mark it with a C. Okay? So that's 28 hundredths of a meter. That's the same thing as 28 centimeters. All right? And then the last one, let's see, is a very similar one. And let's label D is 2 hundredths of a meter. Okay, so I know that's 2 over 100. And if I just need 2 out of 100, boy, I'm just going to go 1, 2. And that's going to be D. Okay, so when I have to mark off spaces on a ruler or on something I've measured, then I just need to think about what different things are equal to, and I should try to draw them out in a way that I understand. Okay? Because this might not make any sense to me at first. I'm like, 0.28 meters? Oh, okay, 28 hundredths. Oh, I could write 28 hundredths to look like this. Oh, there's 100 centimeters in a meter. See, some of these math problems, you have to think about them. You have to think through them. What is it asking you? And then how are you going to solve it? Remember, we always talk about our strategies. We read it, think about it, plan it, do it, and check it. Okay, you've got to do this on these problems, okay, because it's not necessarily obvious. Now, after you get in the swing of things, after you get the idea, some of you will be able to zip right through it, okay? But